Hey, everybody. Michael Wheels Parise. Today, Saturday, May 9th. Beautiful day in Florida. I don't know how it is by your area. I kind of think that everywhere around the country is starting to get nice weather now, no matter where you're from. I know even in Alaska, 'cause I've spent plenty of time performing in Alaska. Even like the end of May, beginning of June, it starts getting perfect, beautiful weather. If you're ever going to go to Alaska, June is the time you want to go to Alaska. 100%. I mean, you can sit on the Copper River and just kind of throw your hand in the water and just grab a salmon. It's fucking unbelievable, dude. Alaska's amazing. Anchorage, Alaska. You could take a Cessna, go to Kalmykia, go to Mount McKinley, drive around. It's beautiful. Anyway, I got a little Tony Bennett in the background, hanging out today. Saturday. It's a low key day. Let me lower this a little bit. Got some stuff. I got a special guest coming on the show today. His name is Daniel LeBlanc. Actually, this is backed by popular demand. Daniel was on once before. He's the CEO of White Olive CPA, based out of Franklin, Tennessee, Nashville area. He'll be on the show today, but he's more than just that. He's also a musician, and he's a CEO of a company, an entrepreneur, and he's also an observer. He kind of tells it like he sees it. So I think you're going to really enjoy Daniel on the show. And then, of course, we're going to be promoting my new book, How Not to Bomb, The Complete Guide to Stand-Up Comedy, available now on Amazon, Kindle, and paperback. And if you really want a copy, reach out to me and I'll send you one. I have some in the back here. I can actually send you one. I'll sign it for you. I won't charge you for the signature. How's that? All right, I'm going to let Daniel in the room. I got Daniel coming in. Ladies and gentlemen, Daniel LeBlanc, where is he? Let me hide him. He's not here yet, but he's coming in, getting ready to do the show. But anyway, so I want to tell you about this book. It's How Not to Bomb, The Complete Guide to Stand-Up Comedy. And it's actually, I started comedy in 1987, beginning of 88, right around that area, when comedy was really worked as an art form. It was an art form, and we would go to comedy clubs, club after club after club, and, work out our material every night of the week and get on stage. And just, we didn't care about the money at that time. We didn't care about film and television. We didn't care about, being the next big celebrity or the influencer. Everybody wants to be an influencer now. We didn't care about that. All we cared about was doing comedy and getting our jokes out. We were on a mission to be a true stand-up comedian. That's what it's really about. Getting into comedy is not just, of course, is the big picture that we all, hopefully can get to that one day. But comedy is an art. You have to work it. You have to hone it. And you have to bomb before you can do better. And I, like every comedian, when I first got on stage, I did well. It was in Pips Comedy Club in Brooklyn, New York. I did well because it was my first time at an open mic on a Wednesday night. And, I just went on stage and started talking. I did well because I was me. I was talking as me, before Wheels was invented or any of that stuff. And I did really good. The second time I went on stage, I didn't do too well. I bombed. Why? Because I did so well the first time. I thought, okay, I'm going to be, now when I go on stage the second time, I'm going to be the comedian. I'm going to start acting like the comedian. And that's where I took a bad turn, because when you start trying to be the comedian and not acting as yourself, you're going to try and be the comedian. It could take you years to get out of that mode and go back to being yourself and learning who you really are. So when you hear a lot of people say, oh, I did great my first time ever. Yeah, most of us do, because we're just going up as us. It's the second, third, fourth, fifth time that is when we suck, because we're trying to be something we're not. So, and it takes years to get out of that mental state of mind, thinking that, you're going to be the textbook comedian and you're trying to figure out how you're going to segue and how you're going to pace on stage and all that. So it could take years to get out of that mode. That's why they say in stand-up comedy, it could take it's a 10-year business to at least start making some kind of money, real money. And it's a 20-year business until you really hit it. I mean, that's how it was. But anyway, what I wrote in the book was the real guts of the business, how I did this business of comedy And I learned that it is a business and an art form. If you're only going to be the artist, you're never going to make money with it, because then you just don't care about how you're going to turn it into a business. That means getting work, getting on the right stages, networking, getting to LA, or getting out of the little city you're in that you're doing open mics in, that you're getting comfortable in. And you have to kind of be uncomfortable before you can start being comfortable. So, so I wrote this book, and it's the complete guide to stand-up comedy. It shows you, it has pages in there where you can actually do workshops. You know, you can actually, you got over here, finding your voice, bombing, a whole chapter just on bombing alone. So yeah, it's got a lot going on. So let me see if Daniel is on the show. Here he is, Daniel LeBlanc, everybody.
Good morning.
Welcome to.
Am I too hot on this mic here?
No, you sound good. Just always, it might.
It's like really, really loud in my headphones, and I can't turn you up without also turning me up. So we'll give it a shot. So if I have to ask what every time, that's probably what's going on there.
You sound loud. Do I sound loud in your headphones?
You sound just fine. Am I too loud?
You're a little loud, so you're coming in. On my end, I can see when you talk, it goes into the red. So all you need to do is be away from the mic a little bit more, or talk lower, however you feel you want to adjust.
Hello now. Is that better?
And then yeah, that's better, because now you're just coming in normal to me.
Okay, I'm just going to do that.
Yeah, so if you have to get excited, or you're going to yell about something, not that you yell at all, but if you're going to do that, you might want to go back, and then you can yell that way.
I should probably figure out how to use this stuff. I think that's probably what needs to happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's people are expecting you to be 100% in the game on your second episode of How Not to Bomb.
Yeah, I mean, obviously,
they want to make sure that you're, people are judgment. Do you find people are just judgmental with everything nowadays? No matter what you do, somebody's going to judge. Doesn't matter what you wear or how you act; they're going to judge some way.
I think so, and it's kind of like I think it's pretty bad. So I think a lot of people just see something and then they just fire off their opinion, and they don't give any sort of regard whatsoever to why stuff happened or why somebody did something a certain way. And that's just kind of really frustrating. I've always found that it's very, very hard for me to not think about that too much. I think about that way too much.
And I think most people do. We just don't. To be honest, I really don't think about it too much. I just don't really care what people think about it. I think that's just years and years of not giving a shit. I think because being in front of audiences every night, I'm desensitized from what people think, because I'm going to say what I want to say anyway. But I can understand where in normal. But if you had to say, like, what do people think about you, not knowing, what would you say? What kind of person you are if you didn't know yourself? Just by your actions and the way you act on an everyday, walking around and talking to people, how would you perceive Daniel LeBlanc if you weren't you? Like, how would you perceive yourself?
I would probably say that guy's really, really had too much caffeine. That guy's really, really high strung, and he's kind of a jerk. They would probably say I'm kind of a jerk.
They would think you're a jerk. So you would think you're a jerk?
Yes, I probably would. I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't. I'd probably be like, hey, because I understand that person, and I understand that person's just probably in a hurry and has a lot going on, and so I probably wouldn't think that. But I can see how somebody would come to that conclusion. Yes.
People don't realize that sometimes you're in a situation. You could be in Whole Foods or something, or you could anywhere, and somebody cuts you off, or in a car. You don't realize that person. Sometimes we don't excuse things as much as we should. Sometimes, I mean, I think people going through a lot. You don't know what that person could have just left his mother or father's wake, or he just got bad news and he has to hurry up and get to the school. Or you don't know what that person's going through. I think we don't allow for mistakes anymore in this world. I think the attention span is kind of wiped out. The patience level.
Yeah, I'm really having some issues with the volume here. It's like super loud in my ear. Okay, it's super loud in my ear, but then I barely...
Lower the volume in your ear. Lower your volume on your mic.
Okay.
And then test it. How's that?
Check. Is that better?
I'm fine. It's how you are hearing yourself. How
is it really loud on y'all's end?
No, it's perfect.
Okay, then I'm just going to lean into it then. So
yeah, your level, the way you're at right now, you can adjust it in your ear if your mic, your headphones maybe are too loud.
Yeah.
So then that's the only you hearing you. It has nothing to do with us. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Then that's good then.
Yeah, you're coming in great. But
all right, perfect.
So I do think that the attention span nowadays is not there anymore. People, for some reason, can't pay attention. And I contribute that to like YouTube and TikTok and all that with these 30-second, 20-second videos. You're scrolling and you have just no have pay. You can't even get through a 20-second video if you're scrolling anymore. The attention span is fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, I think that unfortunately that's how everybody's making decisions, and that's kind of scary.
I mean,
like we make up our mind about a politician, we make up our mind about a company. Like you're on your phone, and then all of a sudden you see like a quote from someone, and it's a very polarizing quote, or it's like a very like divisive quote, and nobody even takes the time to find out if that person even said that. Like I remember there was a funny meme that went out where it's like a picture of Keanu Reeves, and it says there's a bunch of shit on the internet. There's a bunch of shit going around on the internet with pictures of me and shit that I didn't even say. Like there, even if it was good stuff, like there's like these motivational quotes.
Yeah.
It's got Morgan Freeman, and then there's like a motivational quote, and it's like, I'm pretty sure he didn't even say that.
Yeah. You ever see like memes of like a movie, and you've seen the movie like 100 times, and they quote the movie, and it's not even, that quote is not even in the movie at all.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
Just how they just felt by looking at the picture, that was the quote that needed to go into that photo.
Yeah.
It happens a lot with The Godfather, I noticed.
I think that hopefully people just maybe just don't take they'll still use social media, but they just take it for a grain of salt, and then they just understand that it's just not to be taken that seriously.
Well, some people just believe anything nowadays. It's like every day. And I'm getting tired of this whole Nancy Guthrie thing. I feel bad for her, and I hope she's in a better place. Any place right now would be a better place. Even if she was alive, it's not a better place because, who knows what she's going through. She isn't alive. But I'm just tired of the fact that they new video footage found. How much you couldn't find any.
What is Nancy Guthrie? What's that?
Savannah Guthrie's mother, the one they kidnapped in New Mexico or Arizona somewhere. They kidnapped her, and she's 84-year-old lady. Did you hear anything about that?
I didn't know this. No.
Oh yeah. So Nancy Guthrie is the mother of Savannah Guthrie. Savannah Guthrie is a news commentator on television, on the Today Show, I think it is, and they kidnapped her mother in the middle of the night, and no one can find her. And with all the cameras and all the craziness that goes on, they have DNA, they got everything. They just can't find this lady. So they're thinking it could be a cartel. These whoever kidnapped her tried to extort the family at a cryptocurrency, and it's just been a crazy ongoing thing. And you have to read about it. But
I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's been already 4 months, and they still can't find Nancy Guthrie. And every day a new clue. What new clue? 4 months ago, she's 84. Most likely she didn't make it out of that, wherever she's from.
No, I'll check it out. But so is everybody else. So I guess the point of that is everybody online is just kind of like
believing,
they're just accusing her or whatever.
Yeah, they're accusing of Savannah having an issue, the brother-in-law, the son-in-law, it's all the family. It comes down to the family, but you got to read about it. So it's kind of getting old news now. But I'm tired of hearing about the Guthrie incident.
Yeah.
At first, I was all into it. Like, are they ever going to find her? Like, 6-7 days into it, I thought she had a chance. But an 84-year-old fragile woman on medication getting kidnapped and abducted from her home in the middle of 2 a.m. in the morning and not being found for 4 months and not being able to get to her medication that she relies on, more than likely, she's not around. I mean, more than likely.
Mm-hmm.
Now we
can try one more thing with this. Let's try one more thing with this mic. Hold on 1 second.
All right.
Is that better?
Yeah, I don't have an issue on your end.
I don't have an issue. It's me. I want to hear you more, but every time I turn up you, it also turns up.
Let me see.
My voice.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. Yeah.
It's just super echoey. Let me try one more thing. I hate to do this.
It'll all change once it's recorded and goes on the air.
Check. Can you hear me?
Come over there and set you up with a studio.
That's not going.
How's that?
All right. Well, I'll figure it out. Sorry.
Where's your microphone? Oh, there's your mic. Where's your microphone?
It's right there. Can you hear me?
Yeah. You don't like the mic in front of you?
I do. It's just like super loud when I hear it, and then I can't hear you.
I hear you perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I hear you. You can stay just the way you are, and it's fine.
All right, perfect.
Let me see if I can. Hold on. I'm going to do this. How's that now?
It's
you sound great to me.
I hear everything in this room, and then I hear you kind of less. So it's like a feedback thing for me or my microphone.
When you bought that microphone, did you buy a dynamic or did you buy a condenser?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, you sound good to me. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I mean, this is better. Hold on. I just hit some buttons, so I think it's a little bit better. So
yeah, I mean, you're coming in loud and clear.
Okay, cool.
Could be the aliens. You know, we found out we have aliens now, so they could be fucking with.
So what happened with aliens? Tell me about this.
Well, they just released footage of Donald Trump just released our great president just released footage, and I'd say our great president. When I say that, I mean that. That's not a condescending remark. I really do.
Yeah.
Great president. But they released footage of aliens after all these years. He released some stuff, and now everybody's up at arms, thinking, well, he's only releasing this stuff to take away from the war in Iran and all this shit. You know, so it's like no one will ever give him credit for doing anything. It's just the way it's going to be for the next couple of years. But anyway, he released footage. But I saw the footage. I mean, did you see any of the footage? It's like you see like a dot in the air and like, oh yeah, that's an alien. I don't know if the footage.
I saw some things online last night. I told you like that I wasn't going to watch it, but I did, and I think that I saw some things about like they had some pictures of the moon from the moon, and they had some dots that they couldn't explain or something like that.
It's
I just think that if
that I didn't get.
Yeah. I think that if they're really there, we would have known about it and we wouldn't be sitting here talking about pictures and debating whether or not it really is an object. I think if it really is an alien and they really can get here and they really can get to in our atmosphere and our planet, there'd be no question. They'd be everywhere and there wouldn't be a question as to whether or not they are there.
Right.
Well, and people are like, the government wants to keep us from finding out about it because they're worried that the religious people are going to think that there is no God anymore or something like that. There is no God.
That's what I was reading about. Yes.
Yeah. I just don't think that I think that's bullshit because if the aliens can get here and they're that powerful and they're that technologically advanced, they're just going to be like, hey, either A, we're just going to kill you all, or B, we're here now and that's just how it's going to be. I just don't think that they're here. I wish they were. I just don't think that they're here. And I think that they can't get here because of how far it is. I don't think
so what you're saying is you don't believe they're here and they can't get here, but you're not wiping out the fact that they exist.
Oh, they absolutely do exist, more likely than not. They absolutely do.
There have been experts. I was listening to an expert last night talking about it, and he says there are, we're not the only elite planet there are other planets exactly like the Earth.
Yeah, I mean, in the Milky Way galaxy alone, based on very, very fractions of a percent estimate, there are, if these number of stars could have an Earth-like planet, and then these Earth-like planets could eventually produce life, and it's like the Fermi paradox. Based on very conservative estimates alone, there should be hundreds of thousands of advanced civilizations just like ours, and we have it and so if they're powerful enough to get here and bend space time or whatever, get here instantaneously, they're like our government's not going to do a cover up to keep us from finding out about it. I think that's absurd.
Well, do you think that we wouldn't be able to handle knowing that there's an actual country now we're talking about other places that are like Earth, meaning there are people driving around on cars and there are stores and there are places we don't know nothing about? Or do you think it's a different kind of civilization?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's probably all kinds of different types of civilizations out there. But
so
then there's also
a civilization just like us that are doing things we do, podcasts and shit like this.
Probably.
Oh, it's so hard to believe. I don't know. I mean, that part, I don't know.
I mean, it just depends on how they communicate. I mean, if it's different atmosphere, different gravity. Apparently, if the planet's bigger, that means it has more gravity, so they're going to be shorter. If the planet's smaller, then they're going to be taller. But I just don't think they can get here. I think that if they could get here, they would have gotten here by now, and our government wouldn't have had. There's no cover up. I just don't think it happened.
Do you think we can get there?
I don't think it's possible. I think if it were possible. I just think if it were possible, it would have happened already and we would have been visited by a civilization by now. Because other civilizations have had billions of years to develop technology to be able to do that. And there's hundreds and hundreds of thousands of them in the galaxy. Like there's planets that are way older than Earth.
Yeah. Way older than Earth, yeah. We're like a newbie compared to
there's lots of them.
Lots of them. I mean,
we're talking the number that we can't even comprehend, number of planets that are like that are potentially Earth-like.
We cannot be the only civilization life form out there. Not to say that we cannot be. I don't believe that. I just find it hard to believe if there was, and we knew about it, it would be hard to handle, is what I'm saying.
I hope that I'm wrong, and I hope that they are here, because that'd be pretty awesome if they were here and they are coming here or whatever. But
well, they've been showing videos now. They've been showing videos for years that, like, in Area 51 in Nevada, that they had them over there, and they were operating on one. If you looked at many years ago, they were aliens.
I think that, yeah, I mean, I think that they had like craft or whatever, but I think that was an Air Force base. And then all the stuff, all the pictures of actual alien bodies, I'm pretty sure were not real.
Yeah, I mean, if we were able to get to a country, if we were able to get to another Earth type planet, we'd already be there, and we'd already have like a resort selling tickets to things.
Yeah, we wouldn't. Like, think about that. If we were like powerful enough to get somewhere, and we landed on a planet that had, like, I don't know, they were the equivalent of us in the 1950s, right? And we got there, like, we wouldn't be like, hey, we wouldn't go to their government and say, hey, we'll agree to be a secret to all your people as long as you and I can make a deal where I get to abduct a. Like, it's just absurd. That's absurd. We would just show up. We would just show up, and we would just start saying how it's going to be. You know?
Yeah, like, we're so aggressive as a. We would just start. We'd put up a car wash and a fucking WAWA. And we would just start, selling gas, and fucking open up a church. But I don't know. Like, even if another planet did exist like us, I mean, how do we know they even have a government? How do we know it's just not for a free for all of people living very peacefully among each other with no government?
Yeah, I mean, I just don't like it. If all of these different UFOs are aliens and they are visiting us, then they're not making a deal with the government to keep it secret. It's just absurd thinking.
Right, I agree.
And the fact that there's so many people out, that we talked in the beginning of this thing, like, that there's people out there that just will believe anything. This is an example of that. Like, I'm not hating on conspiracy theories. I love conspiracy theories, and sometimes those conspiracy theorists end up being correct. But this is an example of a conspiracy theory that we have run into the ground for almost more than a half a century, for 75 years. The government is not hiding aliens. If aliens were here, they don't need to make a deal with our government.
But that's what they're saying now.
We have nothing of value.
They're going to start showing it now. They're saying now, little by little, they're going to start releasing things. They want to warm us up. They don't want to throw it all at one time.
What are the aliens? I guess my thing is, what's in it for the aliens to agree to that? Number one, how do they even communicate with us to agree?
Yeah, like, how do we need them anyway? Like, what can we do?
I just don't think it's real. I think that all this stuff is just a picture of a plane flying or a star, and then they jiggle the planet, or it's a meteor, or they just jiggle the camera around or whatever. And I just think it's bullshit.
You can't trust anything. It's hard to trust things now, especially with AI, how everybody can, AI is becoming very real now. It's artificial, but it's becoming real. I mean, there are things, and I'm pretty in tune with it. There are things that, we can be tricked on. Photos, they can create, you would never know, that was, things we don't even know.
Just don't believe, like, there's a really good song that came out in, like, I don't know, mid 2000s. And it's not it wasn't a very popular song, but it's by this band called The Neighborhood. And it's called R.I.P. to My Youth. And he's got a line where he's like, I don't believe it if I don't know you. I don't believe it if I don't get proof. I don't believe it if it's on the news or on the internet. I need a cigarette. Like, I just really, really like that line.
That is a great line.
That's a really good line. It's like, he's just describing just how overwhelming the bullshit is that's out there. I just need a cigarette. This is ridiculous. There
is so much bullshit out there, especially, in the world of influencers and social media. I mean, everybody's an entrepreneur.
Dude, now. I know.
Everybody's
don't even get me started. So there's like these, like, I guess you call them trad wives or whatever, that are influencers, and they claim to be making all this money by being influencers. And, like, I've talked to a couple of them before, and they're like, hey, how much, can you do our taxes? And, like, I would quote like $1,600, and that would be too much money for them. And I'm over here thinking, if you were making as much money as you say you're making, like, get out of here. Like,
that would have no problem spending that kind of money. Yeah.
Like, get over it. Like, go do it. I mean,
if they had that kind of money, $1,600 to do their taxes, they can get that in less than 3 minutes. Showing their ass.
Go to H&R Block, and then good luck when it's all messed up, and you have to pay somebody thousands of thousands of dollars to fix it. Good luck.
And if anybody doesn't know, Daniel is an entrepreneur, people, but he also is the CEO of White Olive CPA out in Franklin and Middle Tennessee, and White Olive CPA is a premium white glove, uh, CPA firm that handles everything. So, and they can work in any state. So you want to check them out at whiteolivecpa.com and check out what Daniel came up
Add it,
with.
follow us on Instagram,
Follow us on
all the good
Instagram at White
stuff.
Olive CPA and all that good stuff. And we'll be able to put that up at the end of the show as well. And I think we also have a commercial cut into the show somewhere. But it's been an interesting, because I mean, what you're doing, and be a real entrepreneur, you have to risk. You have to be able to accept failure, and you have to be able to risk what you have and not think about it.
Yeah.
And if you go into a situation easy and say, no, I'll keep my day job, and while I'm doing that, I'll work, then you're just a entrepreneur.
I was a entrepreneur for way too long. I was a entrepreneur for way too long. And I had a lot of family pressure. Like my dad, he was successful working for one company. He was an employee his entire life. And
what
there was a
industry
lot
is
of,
it? You don't have to say.
it was in accounting. It was in
accounting.
accounting.
So your dad,
and he
so
made it. I mean, he made
thoroughbred.
it. He made it. And so he was, he's very prideful of that success, and he discouraged anytime I ever wanted to go out on my own, he discouraged it. And
how does he feel about it now that you have a very successful accounting firm?
I think he resents it. He said, he tells people he's proud of it, but I think he resents it.
Why do you feel that? Why do you feel that?
Because of how he behaves.
Yeah, but if he's
Anytime he
he
won't talk to me about my business. Every time I try to talk to him about it, he changed. We're not on speaking terms right now, by the way. But every time we would talk about it, he would change the subject because he can't. Like, I don't know. He can't handle leaving people alone and letting people try to be successful on their own and letting people make their own mistakes. And so for a long time, I kind of it took a long time for me to just break away from that and the psychological stronghold that had over me into adulthood. I eventually just had to just stop listening to that voice in my head that said, don't do these things, and just go for it. Other people do it.
Do you not
Why
listen
can't
to
I?
that voice come out every once in a while, though?
It does. It does.
It does.
You
How
know,
do you deal with that now? You just kind of, okay. I know
double down and try to get more successful so I can stick it to them.
There you
Sounds
go.
kind
What
of
about your
mean
mom?
or
How's your
harsh.
mama feel about you? How's your mom feel about your business?
She probably just follows what he does. She doesn't know anything. She's never had to work for anything in her life. So,
I mean, you did create a hell of a business, though, I will say. I mean, my company, Parise Group, works with your company on certain things. We're not going to get into that, but you did build a heavy, very notable business in the area. I mean, it's not easy what you did. I mean, do you just think it's because do you think your father fueled that energy in you to become successful because of that?
no, I think that I wanted to always do this because I hated working for people and I didn't like being told what to do from a young age.
Okay, yeah,
And
me too.
that's just kind of
Cathartic.
ingrained in who I am. And anytime I wanted to explore who I really am, this dream was squelched or sort
Right.
of try. There was a big attempt to try to squelch it. I don't know. He's of the opinion that anybody that has their own company is a loser and just is from the wrong side of the tracks kind
Well,
of
because you
thing.
worked for a company successfully
Yeah.
for so many years, he
It's a
thinks he
status thing
might.
for him. It's oh, look at
Right.
me, I've got this status. So forget it.
Right.
I'm over it.
Yeah. Has he ever done any work for you with your company just to help you during times?
I mean, anytime it's attempted, he gives the most absurd, impractical, not feasible advice to where it's like that would just not work
Wow,
at all.
total opposites on the thinking pattern.
Oh
That's
yeah,
interesting.
he would like
But yet you became an accountant.
he's like he gets obsessed with certain things. Like, you know how many times, like if it ever can't, I just don't talk to him anymore. This is why I don't talk to him.
Right.
But if I ever did bring anything up, he was obsessed with me getting insurance so I wouldn't get sued. And I would just say, we have professional liability insurance.
Right.
Well, and he couldn't get past that. It's like, okay, and then he would also be like, you can't hire anybody. The firms can't find anybody to work for them. So you're not
Right.
going to be able to succeed. You can't hire anybody right now. He's just a
But yet
jerk.
it's interesting. It's interesting that you followed in his footsteps. But yet,
Not
but yet,
really. Not
not his
really.
footsteps. So you followed his occupation. You became what your dad is, but yet you do it completely different, and you became
Very
successful at
different.
it. So yeah, yeah.
I mean, I genuinely liked accounting. I genuinely like debits and credits accounting. I genuinely like the details and how it all makes sense. Like, it's a very good system. It's a system that was thought up of a long, long, long time ago to keep
Right.
everything in balance. And so I
So
like
you like
that.
numbers, you like balance, you just like numbers and balance
There's
games.
got to be
Right.
an order to it all. It's like the
Right.
backbone, you know?
Right.
So
So what does a company like an H&R Block, let's say, does a company like that do differently I mean, because people say, well, it's just my taxes. I'm just going to, I get my final, I get the final taxes. So, they're going to do it for $200 and this company wants to charge me 1,500. What are you doing differently that they're not doing? Aren't they still
I
dotting
guess
the
if
I's
you
and
want
crossing
to,
the
if you
T's?
know your numbers really, really well and you're confident in what those numbers need to be, then, you put them together and they're organized and you know what the tax impact of that is and you don't need any advice on what you should or should not do, then you can go to Agent or Block.
Then they would be
And
the only, yeah.
they may be able to give you some advice here or there. But if you think about it this way, if I have 500 clients and they all pay me $500 a year to do their taxes, the person who's getting the priority is the people that need to file their taxes, that I need to file their taxes now. And if you have another
Right.
question, I'm not going to talk to you until after I file my taxes. But in our
Right.
model, if you are willing to pay more to get us on the phone, then we'll make you a higher priority. It's free market. It's economics, right? And
But
so,
I think most people don't know that accounting is not just taxes, that there's other stuff involved when hiring a CPA firm. I just think that the lack
yeah,
of knowledge that the public don't know.
people don't understand that a tax accountant does not necessarily deal with the debits and credits. Like those are two different
Right.
things. Like,
Right.
and then people don't understand that when you audit, like when you have to get your financial statements audited by accountants, that's a completely different thing than tax or just general accounting and bookkeeping.
Right.
And I don't
But
think
so
they
there are other
care
reasons to
either.
hire you than just do their taxes. There are other reasons,
Yeah,
and
like,
that's but people don't realize what they do. They don't know
I
who to
mean,
call.
there's a ton of stuff. Like just in your bookkeeping alone and how you do your bookkeeping, we could find stuff that's going to save you thousands and thousands of dollars. Wait, you're not deducting that? Why aren't you deducting that? Wait, you're not
Right.
feeding this with the bank? You should be feeding this credit card with your QuickBooks or whatever.
You get what you pay for. I think. I really think you do get what you pay
Yeah.
for in anything.
I
If
mean,
you
not to
pay for
mention it's
those
good business
premiums.
practice to keep track of everything. Like you should be doing that
Yeah.
anyway. And
Right.
then anybody that has the mentality like, oh, I'm just going to give it to my CPA and like I can't tell you how many times people will be like, yeah, we've got the books. They're fine. They're in good order. You should just do our taxes.
Right.
We'll give it to you. And we get the balance sheet and it says that they've got like, the balance sheet has just got all this inaccurate information on there. We're like, hey, if we file this the way your last guy filed this, it's probably going to trigger an audit because they're going to be like, oh, why the heck do you have, this on this balance sheet? And yet your
Right.
profit and loss says you only made this much money. That doesn't make any
Right.
sense.
And people don't
So,
realize when you're starting a business, an LLC or a business, if you want to be a contractor, that you need to have those reviews and financials to get your license.
yeah.
They're not just going to throw out licenses. You got to have your ducks in a row. You got to have money in the bank too.
Yeah.
To
I
show.
mean, like when you come to us for that, it's almost like, hey, if you're going to have to pay us for that, then why don't you spend a little bit more so we can tell you how you're supposed to do it. So when you do make a lot of money, you know where everything is.
Right.
Because once you start making a lot of money, you start paying this guy, you got to pay this guy up. To keep the train going, I got to keep paying these people. And if I don't know, if I don't have a good system for tracking all that, then I'm just kind of like flying blind, or
Right.
going by the feel of it. And
Right.
it's
Yeah. That's true.
so
If do you see yourself now the entrepreneur side of you? Do you see yourself opening up any other businesses that have nothing to do with accounting? And if you were to, what kind of business would you get involved in?
I need to
Like,
figure
what would
out
you
how to
do?
open up a music company of some sort. I just don't know what it would be.
Music, as far as recording studio or music
Yeah, I
business
think recording
management?
studio would be pretty cool.
Hey, man, you
You
live in the
know,
city that Nashville, Tennessee. You should be able to do that pretty easy in Franklin, especially.
I'd love to be
Everybody
able to
lives in
do
Franklin.
that, but it's how do I make money? There's so
I think
many.
it would be a good session studio, a place where a lot of the celebrity performers can go because they live in Franklin and in that area. They can go and not have to shoot over to Nashville to record or to work out and do things and jam.
Yeah,
And it would be more or less an elite VIP type studio where you have the celebrity people. It's like
yeah.
it's a second Nashville home where I know I can go. I can stay in. I live in Leapers Fork. I can stay in Franklin and do this shit. Just as much as going to Nashville.
hmm
Um,
And
that's
right
the
now, I
second
mean,
studio.
I think that would be something I'd have to do, but I'd have to figure out how I can make money doing it.
Well, you charge again. You bill them hourly.
Yeah,
It all comes down to hourly billing.
yeah. I mean, that'd be the
If they
easiest,
want to use
quickest
the
way to do it.
studio, it's 600 an hour. And you get
But
free.
then it's like, how can I get like a publishing company? What does that even mean when I'm a publishing company? How do I become a serious publishing company where I get a cut of everybody's songs You know, like how am I doing
But you
that?
can work you work a back end deal with them. If anything is recorded in the studio that you're part producer, you can go on as an
Yeah.
executive producer, and you come up with a cool name for the studio, like you can call it like you did with
Mm-hmm.
White Olive. You can come up and call the studio, Main Street,
Yeah.
Productions, and anybody who records or does
It's
anything
just such a
there.
crapshoot on the back end. So it's like I think just charging hourly on the front end is the best way to go
I would
because
just charge an hourly on the front end. I wouldn't care too much about the recording unless
because even if they
unless
do make it, like they get streaming or whatever, and then they
right.
make a couple million, and then that's it, and then nobody hears from them ever again. You know,
Well,
so
all right. Let's say, for instance, you get like say Jelly Roll. Let's say Jelly Roll comes into the studio and he wants to cut something because he wants to just do something. He lives in Franklin, so he wants to do something at your studio. A Jelly Roll is going to do just record, and he don't want to have anything else. But let's say he wanted to bring on your producers, your sound people, everybody that is going to help him out, production coordinator, all that. Then you come on as an executive producer. Say, okay, that's great, Jelly Roll. So it's an hourly fee. Plus, we also are executive producer. We want 3.5% on the back end, and because we help with all of your technical
yeah. I mean,
issues.
I think in
If
that
you don't need, if
situation,
you're going to
he's
bring your
got
own
like
people in,
he's
yeah,
probably got like attorneys and accountants and all kinds of his own people,
yeah,
and they're probably got standard contracts they're going to make you sign, and so
yeah.
I
But yet we
mean.
don't know.
Yeah, I think that just like I think the music business, if you really want to make it big, you got to have like people on the payroll that know contracts and that kind of get that thing, like you said.
Well, like
So
I have a manager, so my manager and my agent. I have an agent, so an agent in the business doesn't matter whether it's music or acting or comedy or whatever. An agent gets you the work. The manager decides if it's the right work for you. So an agent gets standard 10%. If an agent's going to charge you more than 10%, that's against you don't ever do that. And a manager gets up to 15% or more. They can charge whatever they want. It's based on their relationship. But the manager guides the career. The agent gets you the work. So the agent is
mm,
basically a pimp.
yeah,
They don't give a fuck about you at all. They just want to get you as much work. They don't care if it's good for your career, bad for your career. They just want that 10%. Where your manager guides your career. So whenever I do a job, or if I'm doing I'm coming up with something now on Netflix that I had to go out to LA for, my manager will deal with that. And
mm,
my and he'll do the contracts. He's a lawyer and a manager. He'll do the contracts. He'll make sure everything's right. He knows what my rider is supposed to be. He knows how much we get on the back end. And I'm the good guy. He's the bad guy. So
mm,
the and he tells the agent, okay, you got us to work. You get your 10%. Now get the fuck away from me. I'm dealing with
mm,
deals now, and this is what we do as my manager. He acts as my manager and lawyer. So you have to have both. That's the reason why. Manager can't do the
yeah,
deal. Only the agent could do the deal, but the manager can take the deal and make it right for you.
mm,
Um, well, I think you'd be a good manager for music. I think manager more than anything. If you took on a music act and you started finding new talent, I think you have a knack for that. And because you know numbers and you know deals, you probably do great as a manager. You probably make a lot of money in the management business, I would assume,
yeah. I'd have
because
to
you know
study it.
numbers. Yeah. Well, there's nothing to study. I like Tommy so and so. I think he's great. How would I take Tommy and have the world see him?
Yeah,
Pretty much, in his best interest. Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, that's
I
the
think
show
start
business.
out with a recording studio and start charging hourly, and then you start attracting talent, and then you start attracting producers that want to work with you, and then
I
eventually the
100%
next
agree
door
with that.
opens up, and then
Yeah.
try. That's what I did with White Olive. I just started small, and then eventually we break into other areas, and so
If I
I
was
think
going
it's
to do
all the same
business with
thing.
you, if I was going to invest in money, I would never invest in a game I don't know. So that's why in accounting, I
Yeah.
don't know that game really. But if I'm, as much as I know business, but if I was going to invest in business with you, I'd say, hey, let's get a spot in Franklin. Let's open up a studio and do hourly. And then on the other side of the studio, let's put 5 podcast studios in. And now for people who want to do a podcast, because it's
Mm-hmm.
becoming so big, and every studio is an exact podcast studio. Everything's there, and
Mm-hmm.
they can run their show, but they don't have to buy all the equipment, and they can have a professional show. We'll even stream it for them. We will get it up on
Yeah.
Spotify for them. We'll produce the show, and all they got to do is show up with the guest. That I would open 5 of those little areas up, 8 by 10 rooms or whatever, and I would rent those out. We'd make a killing in that
I
world.
mean,
I
I
think
already have I've got a piece of property that's probably a mile outside of downtown Franklin that we rent out, and that could be converted into exactly what you're
Oh
talking
yeah,
about. And so, and
yeah. I
it's
mean, make it look chic,
semi-commercial. It's
new,
commercial
modern. Everything
slash
is
it's commercial slash residential. One of those things can be zoned either way, and so absolutely, I
right.
think that could happen.
And because it's a studio, you don't got day to day traffic. Nobody's buying. It's not a retail store, so you can do things
Correct.
where it's not going to hurt the neighborhood of 1 million people there all the time.
Correct.
It's a business. So that's something I would do. I actually thought of doing that when I was in Franklin, but then other things got in my way.
Well, we got the spot. We already got the spot, so it's a house.
And are you talking about the spot you have right now, or no?
No, it's another one. It's a 2-bedroom, 1 bath.
Gotcha.
It's like a studio, 2-bedroom, 1 bath, 1 kitchen, 1 living area, and you can totally make that a recording studio. And then have
little soundproof studios where 2 or 3 podcasts can be going on at the same time.
Yeah,
they rent it. It's like renting a tanning booth. They just do their thing. They get in there and leave us alone.
Yeah, we'd have to build out the soundproof part of it, but that can be done.
Yeah, so that's something I would do.
Yeah,
I'm entertaining that. But see how it goes. So I was thinking, as an entrepreneur, how do you decompress yourself when you're not doing anything? Like you just after tax season, for instance, there has to be a way that you just got to say, all right, I'm shutting down for a week. How do most accountants do that?
I mean, I just go on vacation. I go to Florida, or go hang out there, work out. I just try not to pick up the damn phone, or if I do pick up the phone, I do not hit open the email app, and I just try to be really good about that. Okay. I try to read a little bit more. I like to watch YouTube videos. I watch the Y Files, which is pretty cool. I watch there's this channel called Scary Interesting, and they do a really good job. They just basically tell these stories. I watch Mr. Ballin. He just tells all these stories of stuff that happened to people, and I enjoy watching that stuff. I should read more.
It's like a way of zoning out. When you do read, it's interesting you read because I didn't take you as a reader, to be honest. Some people, I used to read. I don't read as much. What do you read?
I don't know.
Science fiction? Are you like nonfiction? You like
nonfiction? And I just haven't been. I need to start reading more. I need to figure out something that I enjoy reading. I just don't see the point of reading fiction because it just seems like it's kind of like it's the same stuff. It's like it's either a John Grisham-esque novel where there's a mystery and there's a court, or it's like some girl who wants to have sex with a vampire or a werewolf, and she's really excited about that. Or it's like some, I don't understand. Like I can't get into that stuff.
That would be interesting. I wonder if there is any girls out there that would be excited about having sex with a werewolf. That is kind of a scary thought. They existed.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't, I don't understand how that became a thing. That definitely became.
I didn't even know it was a thing.
it became like with Twilight or whatever,
I never watched it. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe that became a thing in our country. It's just kind of weird. Like think about the premise of the whole book or whatever. So
yeah,
it's just weird.
Now you made reference to a movie, Dune. I never saw that movie.
Dune's pretty cool. I like that. What I like is the stuff that's not like it's not mainstream in a sense that like Dune became mainstream or whatever, obviously because Timothy Chalamet's in it, but it's not selling out like Star Wars. All the main Star Wars movies went right down Main Street with the plot and made it, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But like Dune is more of like an alternative. Yeah, like Star Wars, if you were really big into the Beatles.
It's a franchise. Yeah.
Yeah, like if you were really big into the Beatles, you probably like Star Wars. But if you're really big into Rolling Stones, you probably like Dune. Because it's a little bit more left of down the middle or whatever.
I just think that Hollywood is not coming out with movies like they used to back in the day where I can just want to sit and watch it. I mean, I watched some of these movies, years ago I used to enjoy going to the movie theater. It's like now I say, oh, I'll wait till it just comes out on Netflix. I just have no desire. I haven't seen anything that was good.
No, I like going to the movies. Going to the movies is a good way to escape.
I would love to, but there's nothing that I like. I mean, I can't. I'd rather watch it on TV now. I mean,
I like going just because it gets me out of the house.
I agree with that.
It's like something to do. So that movie, what's it called? Christian Bale and that who plays Frankenstein.
I don't know that
Bride.
Oh,
that
Bride.
just came
out.
out.
I heard of that.
It was really good.
Oh, you saw that already?
That chick, the chick that played the bride, she was just the acting was she'd be talking and then all of a sudden she just flips a switch and has a British accent all of a sudden and just goes just going cuckoo and then just switches back. She was so good. It was insane to watch.
Did you see the Michael Jackson one?
I did not. I don't know.
I heard the
I don't
biopic.
know.
I heard that was supposed to be pretty great.
Which one?
Michael Jackson's biopic that's out
Yeah.
right now. It's like the story of Michael Jackson. Actually,
You pronounce it biopic? Biopic?
Biopic. Yeah.
Okay.
How do you pronounce it? Biopic?
I've probably been pronouncing it incorrectly for a long time.
How do you pronounce it?
Biopic?
Biopic.
I guess I've been pronouncing it. I wouldn't be surprised if I've been pronouncing this incorrectly this whole time.
I mean, biopic can mean something. Biopic, I look at it as because it's a bio picture. It's about I don't know. That's how I look at it. I've always heard biopic.
Yeah, I've probably been pronouncing it incorrectly. Learn something new. Learn something new every day.
Yeah, every day. Maybe it is biopic. That'd be fucking interesting if you just changed the way it was. You've been saying it right all along. But the guy who played Michael Jackson apparently was his nephew or something, And all the wardrobe in the movie was loaned to them by Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga bought the complete collection of Michael Jackson's wardrobe. So everything you see in the movies was Michael Jackson's stuff, which I thought was kind of interesting. And it was interesting that Lady Gaga would purchase all that, and own that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. She's crazy. She's crazy successful.
I love her, though. I think she's fantastic.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think like what she's able to accomplish, like it's unbelievable.
Because she's got a butter face. She's not the prettiest person.
Yeah.
She kind of has that. She looks like Tony Bennett if you look at her real close.
Yeah.
I think that. Were you a fan of Michael Jackson?
I mean, not really, because he got I was born in 1984, and so he was already huge by the time I was born.
Huge, yeah. In 84, he was huge, yeah.
But later on, in college, it became cool to like Michael Jackson again. I think, after and Thriller and stuff like that. But I mean, I get it; he's awesome. I just couldn't get into I wouldn't drive around listening to Thriller. Yeah, I didn't like popular music. If it was popular, I would not listen to it intentionally.
You're a rebel. You go against almost everything that people do.
Yeah, I just didn't like. I just want to listen to something different because it all sounds the same.
Right.
There's stuff that does get popular that doesn't sound the same. But I probably listened to it before. But at that time, I just didn't. I don't know. I just wanted to hear something different.
So you were more into the indie role.
Yeah,
indie rock, and but you had to listen. You couldn't help it back then. There was really no internet. You couldn't listen to Spotify, so you were probably
you were stuck with whatever you got, whatever state radio stations you had.
Yeah, you were listening to the radio, so
that's what made visiting another city a lot of fun because you'd hear their radio stations. Right. Wow, this is different. I'm hearing some different songs here.
Yeah.
So,
Florida radio stations are all the same since I was a kid. When I grew up in Central Florida as a young kid. And I listened to some of these stations, and I'm like, this fucking never changed. It's the same music that was playing in those days.
It's almost I don't know, man. There's somebody behind the curtain that's making sure somebody's getting paid. And it's I get it. The Eagles were absolutely unbelievable in terms of talent. But, I mean, Hotel California is being played multiple times a day, every day, on thousands of radio stations across this country. And it's been that case for decades. And it's sooner or later, you're kind of wondering, hey, yes, this song is definitely awesome, but is someone making sure that this stuff is getting played so that way they get paid? And I kind of feel like that's what's happening. I don't think it's a consumer-driven demand necessarily. No. I think
it's just keep us in biz, keep us getting checks, please.
Yeah, and then keep reinforcing the belief that they are awesome, which they definitely are. I'm just kind of but there's other, I don't know, being in Nashville, there's so many talented musicians that nobody ever hears about, ever.
Right. And you're a musician.
I wouldn't use that word to describe what I did.
Well, I mean, I've watched
when I leave Nashville, Tennessee, then I guess you could describe me as a musician, but I think...
I would say so.
I would say that the talent was a little bit shy of being... a legitimate musician, but I tried. I had a lot of fun. I tried to make it happen. Oh, you about to pull it up? Throw that up on the thing.
You got to go on to.
That video is still out there. That's awesome.
Topos at the WAWA. Favor. It's called Favor. Is that the name of the song?
Yeah, Favor by Topos, Topos at symbol the WAWA. Topos at the WAWA.
So if you're on Instagram, and most of my following are Instagram people, you want to go to Topos at the WAWA and check out Daniel LeBlanc when he's not pissed at everything.
Yeah, maybe if you want to make me not pissed at everything, have that go viral, and then I don't have any problems anymore.
I love how you just walk away from the stage when you're done. Like that's a complete confidence mode. That's kind of how I am when I get off stage. You're done and you just walk off the fucking stage.
Mm-hmm.
So that song, what was that? It was called Favor.
Yeah.
Did you write that and perform it?
Yeah, I wrote it a long time ago.
Well, you kind of look the same in the video, Daniel. I mean, how long ago was that?
Well, the recording was not a long time ago. The recording of that was a couple years ago, but I wrote that song like 15 years ago.
So what is it about, the song Favor?
I think it's about a relationship that ends and that you didn't want it to end, but that's just life. And sometimes things don't work out in your favor, and that's just how it goes, and you just got to move on. That's what it's about.
So is it based on reality? I mean, I'm assuming?
Yeah, there was a girl that was one of my first serious girlfriends, and we didn't work out. We were long distance, and it was kind of like my first heart wrencher or whatever you want to say. Yeah. We didn't work out, and that's what it was about.
And that's how you wrote it. So you write it from the heart.
Yeah.
It's actually a great song. I'm surprised you didn't try to take it anywhere.
I did try, but nobody cares. Everybody's got some song.
It's the right person cares. You just got it's got to be that right.
I've yet to find that right person, but
Well, listen, it's not.
Maybe
it's not
you
that old
are.
of a
Maybe
song.
maybe you're the right person to kind of push.
I know I can get
there.
it to the right people. It's just a matter of, I would definitely, we'd have to definitely see that in live first and recorded, type of thing.
No, I know I can play it live.
I can bring people to that show.
Give me some decent musicians, and then we'll definitely make it sound good live. So,
have you ever heard of Rick Rubin?
Rick
Rubin is Deaf American Records.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's a very good friend of mine, Rick.
Is he the guy with the crew cut, the gray hair?
Oh, he's the guy with the long fucking beard.
Okay, never mind.
And Deaf American, Rick Rubin. If you look him up one day, you'll see who he is. He's a very good friend of mine. He's always in Nashville, by the way. He's out in L.A. and he produced Run DMC, believe it or not. He was their original. He found them.
Nice.
He did a lot of stuff. Deaf American Records they're a huge company. He's a multi-billionaire over. He lives like on his own beach in Malibu. Anyway, nice. He's a good guy, and he always. What's great about him is because you can get big in the business, and then never care anymore. But he still cares to hear new talent. See, like if I were to say, hey, Rick, do me a favor, just check out Daniel LeBlanc and this song, he'll check it out because he's like, he don't want to miss an opportunity. See, he's still that way. Where a lot of guys, hey, fuck it, I got enough money, I don't care. I handle so and so, I got no time for this shit.
Yeah.
He still always has time for people. That's what's good about Rick.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know I could do it live. I'd have to get re-rehearsed for a month or so before I'd hit the road or something like that, but we could do it live.
Do you think if you had to go on stage right now and perform it under pressure, you could still do it?
Oh yeah. I played that song thousands of times.
So you still have what about the voice, training of the voice, being able to still belt
that voice, that singing is not difficult, a difficult range. If I was going to have to start doing more falsetto stuff, like I'd have to get my voice in shape for that for like the next month. But that's just basic singing. So,
are there any other songs that you have out?
There's another song called "Need to Breathe." That's a pretty decent one, or at least that's a very mainstream.
Well, let's see what this one is.
This one has a good keep it going after the chorus. It's the guitar riff makes this one. Well, this is the guitar solo.
I love a good guitar solo.
Go to the beginning of that song and listen to the riff, the beginning intro. The beginning. The beginning of the song.
That is.
That's
the beginning the video I'm watching.
Well, don't watch the video. Just find the.
Well, it's on
the
Instagram.
beginning of that song has a riff or whatever. That.
Let me see if I can find that. That was a. Is it
Sober Roller Coaster?
Okay, hold on. Let's see.
You get your shit together, let me know, but I'm not going to wait for you forever, okay? Okay, you know what? When you get your shit together, let me know.
I've got to get rid of that music video. That music video sucks. That needs to get off the internet.
It gets the head bopping and it gets the body moving.
It's so bad. That music video is so awful. But just start start the thing and then it'll start. You just keep playing what you were playing. It's right. It's at the beginning of the song. Right at the beginning of the song.
Let's look at it again.
Yeah. That's a different song.
Yeah, this is another one. What is this called?
Even when they tell me.
When they tell me.
Yeah. Why are you just going off of the music videos? Is this just all on YouTube or something?
It's on your Instagram, on top of your Instagram. So I can only pick up that.
Maybe you can help me out. Maybe you can help me put some clips of some other songs on there.
Yeah, I think we should get that going. And
if you go to iTunes or Apple or whatever, there's like a bunch.
Yeah, that was all Instagram stuff. So that was
okay. Cool.
I was just playing it off of Instagram.
Yeah.
So you're saying if we go to because it's Saturday morning, people. What do we got to do? Let's just see if we can find it on. Is it on Spotify?
Yeah, it should be.
Let's see. I'm gonna get it on Spotify because I would like to check it out. I mean, give me what I'm putting in there. What am I putting into Spotify so we can find this?
Topos at space the WAWA.
Yeah, Saturday morning. What do we got to fucking do? Here it is. Top of the Topos at the WAWA. All right, so alien abduction. You have alien. So you opened into the aliens. We're talking about aliens.
Yeah.
Which song would you like me to play? Because I think this is cool now. See, Saturday
Start
morning.
With Need to Breathe. Never Need to Breathe.
Never Need to Breathe.
That's like very poppy. It's called Need to Breathe.
Oh, here it is.
Escape the thoughts of you, they plague me all the time. I don't know when I'll get to see your smiling face again, but I'll make sure to savor every moment that we spend. And I'll hold you like I'll never let you go. Gonna tell you all the things I wouldn't want anyone else to know. Gonna look into your eyes.
I can feel it.
Now do Sober Roller Coaster so you can hear that guitar riff.
So Never Need to Breathe could be a hit. Actually,
I think
it's got you have a lot of listeners on that one. That was a heavily downloaded one. 34,000 people listened to that song.
Oh,
and you're not even promoting your show.
No.
And what's the other one called? Sober Roller Coaster?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Ladies, first of all, you give me the rights to this. I'm okay. I don't own the rights, but I'm okay to play it on the air.
Yes, you are okay to play it on the air.
Daniel LeBlanc gives the okay. All right, here we go. Sober Roller Coaster, people. Also a lot of downloads.
That's it. I just wanted you to hear that riff repeats itself after every chorus.
I like the riff. Yeah. I also like the riff on the Never Need to Breathe. That was really I actually knew for some reason I was able to know where you were coming in with it. On that was well, we did talk about aliens today, so I'm going to play another one that's actually alien abduction, people.
Yeah.
Here we go.
You can make this your theme song for the show if you wanted.
Welcome. to How Not to Bomb. Alien Abduction, everyone, by Daniel LeBlanc. Topos at the WAWA.
This one is a longer intro, so it's probably harder to get into.
It's Saturday morning.
But you could totally use that as background music for like whatever.
I have to get that in writing.
Yeah.
I like it. I feel this would be a good walk-on song for me when I go on stage. You know, I walk onto a song. This would be something I would walk onto. I have to feel it.
It kind of gets you pumped up a little bit.
It does get you pumped up. I'd be backstage. I don't walk on right away. I usually wait when I'm on and I walk on at a certain point when I feel that walk on. And I felt it somewhere in that song when I'm ready. I was ready to walk the fuck on the stage. And just turn into a fucking different animal. Topos at the WAWA. Check him out on Spotify, also Instagram and Apple and everywhere else, because for some reason Daniel LeBlanc doesn't want to fucking tell anybody about the fucking music he's producing. He'd rather not tell anyone, so I got to fucking tell everyone. And
I think that what I need to do is figure out how I'm going to get people to, what's my promotion strategy for all that, you know?
I can come up with all that.
Yeah.
I can come up. That's easy shit to me. That's fucking. That's not, I don't even got to. I don't even got to get out of bed for that.
Yeah,
and
I'll just give you a copy of all the songs.
I'll tell you the truth. If I thought you sucked, Daniel, friend or no friend, I just wouldn't fucking do it. To be honest, that's not who I am.
I don't think I suck. I don't think I suck, but there's a differential between like people who are really talented and then what I just did. You know.
So there, I think right there that frame of mind's got to change. You got to figure out a way to change the frame of mind, because that's what's going to hold you back. And I think that is something that you have in you, that you second guess yourself too much and you just don't. You know that is something you need to figure out as an artist if you decide you want to still become. Stay one.
Oh, I still think that I could pursue it and do my own thing and be good at it in my own, like play within myself or whatever. But I'm also realistic about knowing like how much talent there is out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to go out and do it.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
None of that matters. There's millions of stand-up comedians out there. Why am I one of the fucking best in the country? Because I am.
Yeah.
Either you are or you're not. And it's got to be here and then comes out here.
I think I can believe that I'm good while also acknowledging like the superiority of talent of some other people out there that are doing.
Do you think you're
things.
A great performer?
Yes.
Okay, that's all you need to know.
Yeah.
We'll stop it right there. That's all.
Yeah, there's a difference between being a musician versus like a performer, entertainer, frontman person.
Right.
So
performing it, people go for the performance.
Yeah. Like when I talk about that, I'm talking about the science and the technicality of music.
But that's the accountant, the whole theory.
Yeah.
But that's the accountant coming at you. That's got to stay away. You can't mix.
But I'm confident that if you give me like good musicians, like in a band or whatever, we just hit the road touring with somebody. I've got like 10, 15 songs, and we can make it work.
You have a collection. You can definitely do it. Now, getting on the tour would definitely, I would say, if we were going to launching you in session. So cutting something, getting in studio and doing local live performances in the area, which is an easy no-brainer. I mean, get you at different places in the area. That's easy. Just to start you getting the name going and getting it out there, building up momentum. You have to build a momentum and then comes into a crescendo. You know, it's got to kind of fireworks. And it's got to fucking blanket. But I think you have it. See, we didn't even know we were going to talk about this today on the air.
No.
We were going to, like, I talked to him yesterday. I said, we'll talk about the aliens and stuff. He didn't know that I had a plan. See, he don't know how fucking calculated I am. And when I want to blow somebody up, I just fucking do it. I do that with businesses too, Daniel. I don't know if you know that, but I do it the same way I'm doing this with you right now. It's getting people to see who you are and know who you are and hear who you are and launch you that way. And then start, playing your music maybe as the opening to How Not to Bomb, and then maybe getting people to listen to it. And next thing you know, so I don't really need to know how to sing. It's the same thing in the accounting world. I don't need to know how to fucking add 2 and 2 together. That's your fucking job.
Yeah.
My job is to fucking blow the company up. That's what I would do if I was doing something like that. That's why I do it in the music and comedy. And that's why I found so many comedians and launched them to their careers and made a lot of money doing it. But
I feel like I could try comedy if I could. I think if you just gave me a mic and I would just get up there and bitch about things that I don't like.
Well, you got one right now. I mean, that's what podcasting
I could probably be pretty funny. I would just complain about shit, and you know.
You're, I would consider you as a, in humor, because I've kind of touched in your humor a little bit, just knowing you a little bit. You're very random, and you love random humor. You love saying something that makes zero sense whatsoever.
Nonsensical humor. Yeah.
Nonsensical humor. That's who you are.
Yeah.
And there's definitely a market for that. But I would say in the world of stand-up, it's a different kind of market. Stand-up is something you would have to dedicate your life to.
Yeah, I can't just get up there and grab a mic and wing it. Like, there's got to be a plan. Yeah, and every time I try to write something that's funny, I just kind of give up.
And that's right. So I'm going to tell you the plan now. Here it is right here, and I happen to have it right in front of me. And this is called "How Not to Bomb." It's a book I wrote, Daniel. It's called "How Not to Bomb."
I segued right into that.
The complete guide to stand-up comedy. This is everything that I've done in the business and learned how bombing and not bombing and how to be a comedian. So this is for anybody who wants to be a comedian and not a fucking TikTok fucking 6-minute fucking, drop a load and leave guy. You got to either have it in you or you fucking don't. So this is it. How Not to Bomb.
I think it's funny how you said drop a load and leave on that one. That was pretty funny.
So yeah, and you can. I'm going to send you a copy. So I did tell you I wanted to give a copy to your daughter.
Send it to her. She's really both of them. I think have potential in the entertainment sections. But my daughters especially, but my son just because he doesn't do it as much. But I think he's got some untapped potential there.
I see your son has a lot of comedic ability. Let me ask you this. As far as comedic ability, I've noticed that Oliver, your son, is got something in him. That I'm going to tell you. He's definitely gifted with something there.
Oh, he's just absolutely hilarious.
As far
just
as
deadpan. I think sometimes he has deadpan humor.
Right. I think he's got a very good sense of humor, and he loves to get people's reaction. He's a reaction getter. Let me ask you this about your daughter. What's your daughter's name, by the way? I'm sorry.
Eloise.
Yes. Would that be something that you and Eloise would ever delve into together on the music end of things?
Absolutely. I told her that if she finds a band, I'll throw money into it to help them out. Like,
no. I mean, you and her perform together. Is that something?
I told her, get a band together, and then I'll just fill in on one of the instruments that you can't find a musician for until you find a real musician. So
or even if you did something together as a daddy-daughter duo. And where you really, she sings some of it, you sing some of it together. You do duos.
She can write too. She can write stuff, and so it's pretty good. So
you come from a very talented background. Your kids, and I think that as they get older, like my daughter now is 21. She just graduated nursing school. She's got a boyfriend now, first boyfriend at 21 years old. And because my daughter's a really good girl, and that's just the way she is. But now I'm embracing fatherhood differently. So as Eloise gets older, do you feel you have to embrace fatherhood differently and maybe start doing different things?
Absolutely. I mean, we touched on my parents here, or my father towards the beginning of this, and I've learned a lot about what not to do. And so my daughter and my son I'm always going to encourage them to go after their dreams. I'm not going to discourage that, and be supportive, let them make mistakes. Don't chide them when they make a mistake, or make them feel bad about themselves for making a mistake. Those are things that I've learned to not do. That, I agree. My parents
had to be there for them.
My parents definitely did the opposite.
So, but your kids
there's a little bit of resentment there, but I don't care anymore. I'm tired of not talking about it, so I'm going to talk about it.
Well, I mean, listen, maybe it's just time to embrace what it is, move on from what it was. And if there's and hopefully there's a future. You still want to have a future, I would hope, with your parents, but maybe do it differently. Maybe don't discuss business. Don't discuss. Just say you're my dad, you're my mom, I love you, and that's the end of it. And sometimes you got to do things like that. The way you want your kids to do it for you. But today was a good show. Did you enjoy the show today?
I did. This was fun. We should do this more often. I feel kind of relaxed.
This was all about your band today. See, I knew I was going to go there eventually.
Yeah.
Finding the right road. So I figured let's board them with the alien stuff at the beginning of the show.
Yeah. I need to figure out this mic situation because it's my volume in my headphones. I think you just go in the settings is super loud, but I can still hear you. But like it's like I gotta get that locked in.
Well, on
It's a
your
rookie mistake on my part.
it's a rookie mistake. I think I might be in Franklin in June, from what I assume we're supposed to be getting together.
Yes,
for dinner or something.
we are. We're still
when
doing
I'm there
that,
in
yes.
June, we'll get together and we'll look at the equipment. We'll spend a few hours on it, and
Yeah.
also when I'm there, also get me if you have any raw stuff that I can take from the from your band. Well, none of those guys are in your band. Anybody who's performing, they don't perform in your band, right?
Yeah, they just kind of hired guns for the set or whatever. The
For the set.
producer
Now, if you
actually
had
did a
to
lot
get-
of the producer actually manufactured a lot of the musicality on it.
So if I was going to book a room for you, let's say in September, October in Franklin or Leapers Fork or Nashville, book a room. Would you be able to put something together? Do you know people that you can say, I need you, I need you here for this,
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to find some guys or whatever. I need good ones.
Because that I don't have. I have the connections of the venues. I have the connections of the upper management. I just don't know. I don't know, a bunch of musicians walking around looking for work. All the musicians that I know are making a lot of fucking money,
Yeah.
So I mean, but as far as finding the work, it'd be good to put something together. We could talk about that too on a
Yeah, let's do that. Let's talk about it.
But I'm going to play out. Which song can we play out the show to today? You know your work.
Favor. Just do favor.
Favor?
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Don't forget, follow Daniel LeBlanc on Instagram. Also, make sure you go at Topos at the WAWA, Topos at the WAWA on Spotify or Apple or anywhere you listen to music. And also on Instagram. Look for him, Daniel LeBlanc and Topos at the WAWA. There might be something here we're going to do. We're going to play it out today. It's been a great show. Daniel, I had a good time talking today, hanging out. We'll definitely, I'm sure we'll be talking soon. Anything else you want to get out?
That's all I got. It's a happy Saturday. It's a beautiful day.
I'm going to send the book out to you. I might bring it in personally. I'll sign it for him. Don't forget to go to Amazon. If anybody wants to order the book, because not everybody gets one for free, my friends. You go to Amazon and you can get the paperback edition. You can also get the Kindle version of How Not to Bomb. My photos on the back. It's got a story, a little bit about me, but mostly it's a workbook. It's got pages you can actually write in and everything. So you really should buy the paperback, because this is something you want to keep in your backpack as you're walking around the fucking city, going from club to club and bombing until you don't. So How Not to Bomb on Amazon. Anyway, we're gonna play this out. Great talking to you, Daniel. And we got Favor coming out by Topos at the WAWA.
Does it hurt to know that love passes by? Does it hurt you to see?
Listen to the lyrics.
There you go.
Really nice.
As you looked up to the sky, wonder why.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah. Here's the chorus.
Very nice. All right, we're out of here. I'll talk to you. All right, everybody.